Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Citizen Council live stream. I am Chris Castleman with the wonderful
And I'm
Brandi
Brandi
Martindale.
Martindale.
How's it
Hey,
going, Brandi?
pretty good. How you doing, Chris?
Pretty good. Somebody in one of my morning meetings told me I look like I'm bald because I have the hat on, and if you didn't know I had long hair, you would just think I'm bald. Anyways, random
Well,
thought
I
of the
think
day.
sometimes men overcompensate with facial hair. It's a testosterone thing because testosterone makes your hair grow out, but it makes your beard grow. So I can see how
There you
they would
go.
make the connection. Like you've got all your hair right here, but then you take the head off, and it's like, no, there's more.
What could I be overcompensating for? Don't I have the biggest ego? Isn't that what they say? Anyways. Oh boy. We got Perry. Perry, you ready? Give me a wave if you're ready, because you're moving around a lot. All right, I'll bring you on.
Okay.
Perry Holman in the house. How's it going?
Going good.
What are you up to? What are you you're walking around?
Oh, I'm at a house that has squatters in it, and kind of hoping that they'll show up while we're live.
Oh wow. Oh, is that the one we put cameras up in?
Yep.
Okay. The camera went off right before the live stream, and I was like, gave me a heart attack that I was gonna have to rush out of here and go do our thing. Anyways, okay, very cool. Very cool. Are you able to I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but are you able to show um like some of the filth or
Yeah.
like it actually was very clean. Oh, he dropped. He'll come back on. But yeah, Perry contacted a homeowner in his neighborhood. Um kind of an absentee landlord situation, and the people have been squatting there. Apparently it's somebody who does it all over the Coos County, does it a lot, mostly like east side and Englewood area. But got a hold of the people and who no one else could get a hold of somehow. I have no clue how he got a hold of them, but he did, and got permission to go over there. And the cops had been trying to go in and get the people out, but because they didn't have permission to be there, like the cops didn't have permission, they hadn't talked to the homeowner, they legally couldn't go in. But Perry got in, and we went in there and looked around, and it was interestingly like relatively clean. It was definitely like, the typical homeless fare and drugs and rotten food and weird stuff like that, but it was like organized. It was an organized mess. And this
Yeah.
lady had a notebook where she was like documenting the like repairs to do to the house. I think she's very smart. She's done this many times, and she was like had this prepared, so if like the cops came, she could say, I was hired to stay here and do some renovations for like a couple weeks to prepare this for sale, or whatever. Like it
Or
was.
she's using that to challenge it in court to say that it's an in-kind rent situation and she was allowed to live there. They do that too.
Yep,
I had a
yep,
neighbor
it was.
call to
No, it
see if
was.
I was a burglar.
Oh, just
Oh,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good though. That's good. Like,
Yep.
so
yeah.
this has been a problem in that neighborhood for a while, and the neighbors have all finally gotten fed up. They've started to get involved. I think one of the people in the neighborhood originally reached out to you, Perry. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Through the grapevine, it got to me, and and then right after that, I started hearing it on the scanner, and um, and I was like, man, this really is a problem, and I think it'll be pretty easy to take care of if we can get a hold of the homeowners.
Yep.
And first phone number I called was the right one, and she was more than happy to let me do whatever I needed to do.
Wow. I wonder how much of this problem could be solved. Like these people who do there, I think this is a problem in several different locations throughout Coos Bay and North Bend.
Hmm.
Just calling the homeowner up.
Right, right. Yep,
I mean, the
that's
best way to prevent
probably.
it is to be active, like be an active homeowner. And if you're not living there, if it's not your residence, rent it out. Like, what did you told me, Perry? They haven't rented it out since 2005. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
But
That's frustrating because that's a home in our community that could house a family, a working family with kids in the school district who
this is a cute
work
little
and
house. It
spend
didn't seem
money.
like there was anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda
This
sucks.
is really common with people who are buying investment properties, or they buy properties where they intend to retire
Yeah.
later in life.
I don't know if you want rotten peaches, but
Yeah. There
you
was
can give us
definitely some rotten
honey.
food. I moved the rotten bag of lettuce, I think, before you even got to it. It was so bad. Rotten lettuce smells really bad.
So there's
Um,
no electricity to the home.
no
No.
electricity, no water, but she was in the process of turning it on. She was going to get it turned on. Which, like, if
There's a
you're
part of me that's just like, as a society, man, it is like, it's tough when you have homeless people or people who can't find a place to live. They work, they have money, but there's literally no housing. And then these perfectly good houses are sitting empty. Like, as
Yeah.
much as I respect private property, there is a part of me that's kind of like, this is a crappy situation that our society has created. When
Yep.
we have homes sitting empty, that's a social problem in and of itself. And, I never want to violate private property rights or, the individual's right to spend their money to buy whatever they want to buy. But there's got to be some kind of middle ground, because the empty homes in our community really does have a negative effect.
Yeah, it sucked when I was there, just like looking around, like this is totally something that with some quick cosmetic upgrades and a little cleaning, like within a week, that could be ready to rent, easy peasy, and someone could really love living there and
Yeah,
enjoy it. And but again, somebody else's private property, so
it is.
each
I
their
mean,
own.
I
I don't get it.
get that not wanting to rent. I completely understand that, because renters should not have the rights they have. And I know that's going to upset a lot of people, but like, that is someone's possession. They own
Right.
that property. And when you enter into a lease, of course, you like, breaking a lease is serious business. That's a legal contract. But you have people who, the lease runs out and they won't move out. You have people who trash. I have a friend who rented out when he moved in with his wife, they bought a home and he kept his rental. They did $15,000 worth of damage. And
It's
insurance
crazy.
wouldn't cover it.
Yep.
I mean, it was just straight out. I don't know if he had insurance on it or what the deal was. If maybe there was some kind of, like, he didn't cover his own behind well enough, but
They kind of work
people
in
don't want
opposition.
to.
Like you can't have strong property rights and strong renters' rights
Right.
because the people renting, it's not your property. So
It's not.
there's got to be a balance. I got to bring my hands in because I got a little screen. But
Yeah. And you hear people like, oh, we have a really crappy landlord that's trying to kick us out. Okay, but they own the place. Like, it's theirs.
It's like
You don't have the right.
like you renting or borrowing someone's car and then be like, they won't let me drive it anymore because
Yeah.
I spilled my coffee everywhere. And anyways, Perry, what else you got for us?
More people need to be doing this. Neighbors, neighborhoods. When you see an empty house and you start seeing people take it over, you need to step up and do what's needed. It's very easy to
And what is needed
legally do stuff. Well, for example, I put no trespassing signs right in front of the front door.
And they cost you what, like
nobody
$1 for the sign?
Yeah, you can do that without anybody's permission. I didn't damage anything. I didn't do anything. I technically trespassed for 2 minutes if I didn't have permission. That's it.
So I've got an idea to throw out.
And I think that's kept them off this property, which is crazy.
Maybe
because
they were big old
it's
signs.
so simple.
Well, but what's crazy is that they had put up their own signs saying like, warning, there are cameras, and she even put in her notebook what day she did it, as if like she was the property manager, securing the premises. Isn't that nuts?
Yep.
And we talked to the neighbors and they kicked one of the other neighbors had been told like, oh, you can park in the driveway. They actually told them to park in the driveway so that it looks like people are home. And they went and did that. And these squatters yelled at them, said, you can't park in our driveway. It's crazy.
That's audacious.
But yeah, Perry, like you didn't do anything illegal and you didn't do anything expensive or anything crazy. You tracked down the homeowner and you talked to them. You got them to call the Coos Bay police to make sure they were aware of the situation. And then you just went over and made sure there was nobody in there, put up no trespassing signs, and now you're checking on it every once in a while. And you let all the
Yep.
neighbors know that that's the new situation. So nothing crazy, nothing illegal, nothing expensive. And I'll be cryptic about this so I don't throw somebody under the bus, but there was somebody very close by to that house in a position of power, and they appreciate what Perry does and what he did, which is awesome. But they kind of gave the response of like, you understand that I couldn't have done that because of my position. And it's like, no, like you absolutely could have done what Perry did. Literally anybody, a 10-year-old could have done what Perry did. Anybody.
Was it
It's so,
and I don't want you again to throw anybody under the bus, but I'll just say, if it is a city official, there could potentially be a lawsuit against the city. Like that can be,
I don't know.
tricky.
Like you can totally be a property manager and work for the city.
And,
Like,
and
why
there's
would you not be?
and there's a lot of things that
I'm not
so
sure.
they don't like being on camera. Put up cameras.
Yeah.
Make them visible. Make them know that that house is being watched.
Solar
there's a lot
lights,
you can
like
do.
the ones that go off for motion.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So something neighbors can do, if you live in a neighborhood and you're just, a person living in a neighborhood and you see this suspicious activity going on at a neighbor's house, so you can go on the Coos County Assessor's website and you can pull up ArcGIS, the map, and you can find that property on our county assessor's webpage on that map. It will show you who owns that property. So what you can do as a neighbor, if it's, let's say Sally Mae owns the home and you see the people go in, you go, "Hi, Sally." If that person is not named Sally, look up Sally on the internet, like Perry probably did. And for a lot of people, phone numbers, contact information will come up, and reach out to them and then say, "Hey, Sally, are you renting your home?" And just ask questions. You say, "Hey, I'm a neighbor. I saw some suspicious activity on what appears to be your property," and just ask questions.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being a nosy neighbor, especially if things are weird. And apparently
It's
it was
needed,
like
man.
very obviously weird, like they were drug dealing and I don't know, all sorts of stuff. But
Yeah, man. You got
Yeah.
people coming in and out of
And,
house all times of night. Yeah.
And these people actually kicked the front door in. It's broken, and they installed their own locks. So now they have keys to the place. And I was going to replace the locks. That was my first intention, but it's pointless unless I either get a new door or reinforce the door or something. So I ordered some plates that you can install that wrap around that section of the door.
Kick
And
plate or whatever it's called.
those will
Yep.
be here soon. And
yeah, they're like
I'll be
big.
putting those on. And
Also,
that way,
people for
when
your own
they can kick the
houses
door in all they want, that door won't break.
and use your deadbolts, people, because it's not gonna like, so if somebody really wanted to get in their house into your house, they can through it with a deadbolt. But
Yeah.
like Perry, you saw me how quick I got into that house because there was no deadbolt. Well, I mean, it's
Yep.
just like doop, with
I
a
did
little
the
credit
same
card.
way. I did
Yeah,
the
And
same
so
I
way.
mean,
people are aware.
instant. It even looks like a
Door
key.
handle locks?
Looks like I'm using the key. Yeah, just a door
Yeah.
handle lock.
With
So
a
use
door
your
handle
deadbolts,
lock,
people.
so a lot of times the way a door handle lock works is it has a pin, and if your door does not close all the way and that pin does not click into place, some locks don't even have the pins. But if
Yeah.
that pin doesn't click into place, all it takes is an ID or any card. You slip it in, and it pops that door handle
Yep.
lock out, and you just push the door right open. It
Yep.
takes 7 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Not even. I mean, I can do it and make it look like I'm using a key. If somebody was watching me, it would look like I
Yeah.
used a key to get into the house, and I have permission. But
Yeah.
we got to take a break to say hello to Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi,
Hi,
hi to
Peeps.
all of our. Hi,
And
Cheryl.
my mom is saying hi to
Hi,
everybody.
Mary Louise.
And Cheryl's asking about. I did just see that press release the airport thing. Somebody got arrested for like damaging 11 planes. I'm sure it's like they're small planes and stealing one. Did you read that?
I didn't read that he stole it.
I
I
thought
I
just
it said
saw
read
it,
that
but
he
I didn't read it.
or one was missing or something like that. One was missing and they caught him in one. It's crazy. I just saw the press release and skimmed it really quick, but I didn't recognize the name, and that sounded wild. Also, it was a press release from North Bend, who I believe has jurisdiction on the airport because they have like a mutual aid agreement or whatever. But isn't it like a federal crime? Like if you're messing up planes at an airport, that sounds like a federal thing. But
You would
I
think.
don't know. That's a good
They got
question. Like
TSC
I've never
there,
even
so you
heard
would
of something,
think.
yeah,
somebody doing something like that.
Perry, we lost you in the
Oh, I'm
clouds.
here. I'm here. I'm
All
here.
right.
I'm like, well, is that clouds or is that like, what is going on?
I passed out.
There you go. Hey, you did that to me in the hardware store, and that was
I did.
freaky. Just went,
He did? He passed out?
scared the crap out of me, and he's too big for me to catch.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was a while ago. The creepiest was when your head went limp, and it was just like, like I was like, oh, he's dead, and then he snapped out of it. But Cheryl said, yeah, he moved it or something. Question is, where the hell is security? I'm guessing this was like the private, small airplane part of the airport, not like the commercial
With the little
airplane
Cessna
side of it.
planes and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
I don't know how in the hell you would damage 11, but I don't know. I'll look into it. I'd read it just before hopping on here.
And I know this
Wild.
is completely unrealistic, but my brain immediately goes to like, what if we didn't need security?
What do you mean?
Like, what if we created the social conditions where security wasn't required?
Sure. I mean, some people could. That's the thing. It's like it works for people who are able-bodied and intelligent, and good with communication and able to run society effectively. But then it falls apart when you've got people who can't. And I mean, even like
Or if we
good-willed
just
people, like
started putting people back in prisons and stopped apologizing for it.
yeah, that too. What was it, Perry? Tell us. Was it last night? Yeah, last night. With that guy who always bothers people in your neighborhood. The
Oh, Chris Ursino.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't know what happened. Just know a Facebook post that he beat up a 79-year-old. Whatever it was bad enough that police went looking for him, and deputies found him and arrested him. But once again, it was just a book and release.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
And it's like, maybe we don't know the whole story. Maybe it wasn't an assault. Like maybe it was embellished and it was just like criminal mischief because they said that they broke windows or something. But even still, it's like, I don't know. You come and break my windows, I'm not calling the cops. I'm gonna go find you. So do we need security? I don't know.
If he did
Just
beat up
lost
the 79, how big of a boy are you to beat up a 80-year-old?
Right?
That's bullshit.
It's straight up predatory. I mean, that's just straight up predator.
It's crazy. And we just booked and released them because of all that. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Right.
Talk about overcompensating for something.
Hey, you were listening to all that. Where'd he go?
Oh, he was listening.
That's funny.
All right, my phone's dying, so I'm gonna have to get off here.
All right, thanks for the tour. Appreciate
Hi,
you
Carrie.
stepping up and doing stuff in the community. It shows other people how easy it is, and I hope it catches on.
Man, get your phone charged so in case they show up, you can jump back on.
Yeah. All right.
I'll see you later.
All right.
Bye. He's such a cool dude.
He texted me. He's like, "I'm going to be on location," and he didn't tell me what location. Anyways, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm wondering which house it was. If it's one of the houses that people have reached out, have mentioned to me as well.
There's so many of them, and yeah, it's like people have to, like, we can't be everywhere, so, like, people have to do this in their own neighborhood and watch out for one another and step up and have little, people in their neighborhood that can do this. Because again,
I
it's like
wonder
it's
if
pretty
like,
easy. I mean, if there were people there, it'd been different, right? Then it's
yeah,
complicated and messy and things, but especially with the civil side of it, like we were talking about earlier, like if they say, "Well, I live here, I have permission," all of a sudden it's a whole different issue. And a lot of times the cops back away. They say, "This is civil. This is a civil issue," which is insane. But
it is insane. But I do think for the most part, for a large part, people do need to stop calling the cops and solve some of these problems themselves. And but obviously that's not possible or reasonable in cases where there's assaults and stuff like that. But I see people posting constantly online about like things that they're calling the cops for, problems that they're having. And it's not real. It's like, you could fix this. You could do something about this. You could help the situation in your own neighborhood.
yeah, you'd hope.
We could take some of the burden of petty crap off of our police force if people would kind of take a little bit more responsibility and accountability for themselves, especially like this person that lives out of state. This is that person's responsibility to maintain that property. Like that
Yeah,
person has no right to put that responsibility on someone like Perry. Like Perry should send her a bill. And I like that might come off as kind of harsh, but like these people
yeah,
are taking from our community. Like this is not people owning homes here that they're maybe going to retire in someday, or they like to come and visit like a few times a year or a few months out of the year. That's not doing anything for our community. Like it's really actually a detriment in a big way to our community. And it's not really, that's something that's not being addressed in Coos County at all.
yeah. I just hope that they clean it, get the right people to clean it up and rent it out, and that would be a good ending. So that's the
Maybe having
easiest way to keep
conversations
squatters
with,
away. Get people
yes,
to live there.
maybe having conversations with these homeowners and saying, hey, we've got it. Like your house is becoming a problem. Thought of doing anything with it? I've mentioned the vacancy tax. Of course, like nobody likes taxes, but I don't know what else you do to get these people who don't even live in Oregon to take responsibility for the properties that they're allowing to dilapidate. I mean,
I
we've
think it's
got one up
unfortunate, but I
here.
don't think it's a government problem to solve. I don't think but that's just me. I'm never gonna probably agree with you on
It's
that sort of
illegal.
stuff.
Like what we would need to do to solve the problem up in McKinley. There's squatters living. The guy is in a dementia home in California.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's like no mental facility left. And so these people have set up residence on his property and they sell drugs. There's like
Yep.
stolen goods come. We'll like people's houses will get robbed and they'll catch a vehicle on video and we'll see that video like or that vehicle like being driven by the people who live on that property who are squatting on that property, see the video, the same vehicles coming in and out. And so we all know.
I don't
But
think people in the neighborhood should put up with it, and I just don't think it's a government thing to solve, and people just need to realize that the government is not here to help you. They're not going to help you, so you need to step up and do it yourself, whatever it is. But
whatever it is. And the thing is, for the most part, isn't legal. There is no
whatever.
legal recourse for like law-abiding citizens that just want to live in peace.
Yeah. Well, it's
Where
not even like that's a full-blown squatting issue. It's like there was a story maybe a year or two ago. We had a town hall on crime at the Egyptian Theater, and someone had stood up and talked about how their grandparent, or well, no, it was their parents, but they were old enough to be my grandparents. That's why I remembered it that way. Their parents were living in a house right along Mingus Park, and some guy kept coming to their house and he was like crazy, screaming and yelling and being aggressive, and they kept calling the cops and telling them that and saying, "Can you get this person away?" Well, when the cop showed up, the person told the cops that he lives there, and he like wasn't even squatting. Like just said that. And instantly, because he said that, they had to back off and they said it's a civil issue and there's nothing they can do. Well, after the cops left, the guy was still there because they couldn't remove him. Apparently, they said they couldn't, and he assaulted the old man, put him in the hospital, and those people have now moved out of our community. Isn't that nuts? And it's like, you
It's
mentioned like
disgusting.
what illegal versus illegal. It's like, I don't know. I don't live in that world. The world I live in, there are consequences for that, and you deal
But
with it.
that's what holds the majority of people back, though. The majority of law-abiding citizens, like, they don't want to lose their business. They don't want to lose their job. They don't want to lose, like, they don't want to be attacked and
I
then
get
not
it.
be able to work and provide for their families. And it's literally the state of Oregon that is doing this to people.
Yeah.
It
there's
sucks,
no,
man. It sucks to, like, we're living under a really oppressive government that is, like, victimizing us all. It's like
Yeah.
a just covert abuse coming from literally our government. It's disgusting.
and there's no short-term solution. The long-term
No.
solution is diplomatically change the laws, change the leadership. But I mean, we're like probably decades from that. But that's why we're doing this. That's why we go to meetings and try to encourage people to get involved. I was thinking today too, because like we've lately been on this more conservative kick. Like, I'm involved with the Republican Party, so like it makes sense. But I hope people understand, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, it's like we just want people to get involved, because let's take the liberal side of things for a second. I encourage liberals to get involved. Go to your Democrat Party meetings, sign up, become a precinct committee person for the Democrats, go to their meetings, become involved in leadership and events and outreach, because I believe in Coos County people. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, I believe that the people of Coos County know what's right for this area and they're going to make the right decisions. The problem is, and you pointed out all the time, is the low voter turnout.
Yeah.
So the Democrat Party of Coos County, just like the Republican Party, has been hijacked by extremists. They're extreme, and that's why both sides are really mad at one another, because it seems like everybody's extreme and it's not.
But they don't think they're extreme, Chris. They think they're right.
Exactly. That's why they need to go. So that's why,
and I got to tell
the
you, like,
liberals that I
listen,
talk to need to get more involved in the Democrat Party, because you guys actually do care about the right things, and we're
it's
not
a
that
good
actually
point,
far
man.
apart. And if you guys get
Yeah.
involved on the liberal front and we get involved on the conservative front, or I don't want to speak for you, but if everybody gets more involved and there's more equal representation everywhere, we'll all do better, and we'll all start
Absolutely.
having the right conversations.
That's a great segue for like the video that I did today on the way to Bandon, seeing the way the League of Oregon Cities really pushed that HB 3115
Was that the
that
transportation stuff?
legalized that was the homeless camping. That was the public
geez.
camping. So they really pushed that hard, and they thought they were doing a wonderful thing, but they're a bunch of leftists. They don't have any opposition voices saying, do you guys not, I mean, anyone could have looked at that and foreseen a catastrophe that inevitably unfolded, because there's no pushback. It's all groupthink. So these people are totally convinced that they're doing the right thing. Well, look now. The Supreme Court struck it down because it's unconstitutional. And the League of Oregon Cities is now backpedaling and saying, well, we need to repeal or modify parts of this law to give cities more power. You think? Did you ever think maybe we should have paused and examined this with a little bit more critical eye instead of just ramming it through because we could? And
But
that's
they
how we
can,
end
and
up.
that's
Dude, it was unconstitutional.
Yeah.
The League of Oregon Cities owes us an apology. They literally pushed a piece of legislation that was struck down in the Supreme Court. And every single person who worked on that, I hope you're humiliated. I would be so embarrassed. I'm like getting pissed just thinking about it, because I value the Constitution so much. It is so important. And when people just like, nah, whatever, we won't follow that, it enrages me, because it's the most anti-American thing that you can do, in my opinion. And so, in my opinion, the organization should apologize to Oregonians. It's not enough to just backpedal and go, well, now we need some modifications now that we saw that it was an absolute catastrophe. Apologize. Like, you guys did a really bad thing to all of us. And they did it because we have a weak Republican Party that couldn't get a seat at the table and couldn't really hammer out a piece of legislation that would have been effective and constitutional from the get-go.
Yep. Well, but if we're dealing with a quarter of the voting eligible population voting in local elections or any elections,
yeah,
then and the Democrats are winning by a slim majority in a lot of cases, like even statewide, like when you group the whole state together, they're not winning by like a crazy super majority. Like Democrats don't win statewide races by like 70%. I believe it's like 55-45, maybe, if I'm wrong.
maybe.
Anyways, so like if you're half of a quarter, you're 1/8. You've got like 1/8 of the support of the state, really, either party. So even if you're winning or if you're losing by little, you've really only got 1/8 support, because that's as far as your outreach has.
So the vast majority of voters are saying you all suck.
Exactly. So like your petition you're doing to recall Tina, like I bet there's so many, the people I've talked to, the liberals that I know, they don't like Tina. They're like, she's crazy, she has to go. And that's the point. So the Democrat Party has been hijacked by a very, very small, and it's not even, it's 1/8 who voted for the person who was presented to them from their party.
Right.
And so you're probably talking like a quarter of those people are really gung-ho. So like the fractions keep getting smaller and smaller. And I think people get the point. The point is you've got a very small, close-knit political group of people controlling the entire state.
Yes.
And
that produces
there's still
policy,
3/4 of the people who are not involved. And I mean involved just simply on filling out the ballot that was mailed to your house. So if any of those 3/4 of those people start getting involved, it's a very quick change in terms of overthrowing that very, 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 very small percentage of people who control the politics in this state. So
absolutely.
How do we do that, though? How do we get them involved? I think this is a start.
That should be what the Coos County Republican Party is doing. I think we beat that horse to death, but like, good God. I mean,
Not dead yet.
Voter outreach.
Yeah. I'm going to start advocating for, because I've always advocated for everybody to get involved in anything, but like I've never actually like really pushed my liberal acquaintances as much as I push my conservative acquaintances. And now I'm going to push everybody, like because now I really do. I've thought about it recently. It's like, I don't agree with the liberal solution, but the liberals I talk to, they have the same issues. They at least identify the same issues. But the liberals in politics right now, like the liberals that are, your mayors, your city councilors, your state legislature, they don't even know what the actual problems are. And that's crazy. So they're applying messed up solutions to problems that don't even exist.
Right. Like going after guns. Like being obsessed with gun control, as if that's going to solve the absolute cesspool of human behavior problems that have been created by poor legislation. We don't need gun control. We need legislation control. And the way we get that is by voter engagement. Seriously, man. And we need good candidates. I spoke to a lady here yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Really good conversation with a woman that represents an organization that helps support women candidates. And I would love to send her people. There are women who have no idea how to get involved in politics and maybe need that women-only space. Maybe they've had bad experiences with men or what the case may be, or they need that women's support. So there's stuff like that out there. But we need candidates. We need people to run for these positions to step up. And like I said, like if you have like a quasi-functioning brain and some energy, man, bring it to the table, because we need people to literally replace these people. Like if you have someone who's so out of touch that they think that the most important thing for Oregon right now is pushing twice a bill to let men identify into women's locker rooms, like, we got to replace this dude. Merkley's got to go, man. Like, if anyone is willing to step up and run, I'm not in a position to do it right now. Hell, I may in the future, because we have to replace these people. That is the most
But again,
perverted,
think about it.
disgusting.
I bet if you just went door knocking down, pick any street, and talked to liberals that are not currently engaged with
Yeah,
politics,
man.
not currently involved, I bet they don't like what Merkley's doing.
No.
And if
No,
you can turn
everyone's
them
like,
on
no, this isn't
to
right.
getting involved with the Democrat Party,
Right.
I bet that is a quicker change than trying to get a bunch of conservatives to find a better candidate than Merkley. In the immediate. In the long run, yes,
You might be
I think
right.
I believe in the conservative values and platform, and I believe the ultimate solution is a conservative senator.
Yeah.
But we're not there. We're not
Yeah.
even close. So
Yeah, I think you're right. Everyone I've talked to who tries to rationalize these types of, like, that's a perverted policy. I don't really care who you are or what you believe. It's like, so what I do is I take them through a little thought experiment and I say, okay, walk me through like what that looks like when a man, a biological male, so a human with a penis, right, walks into the copial pool changing room where a mama is putting her little eight-year-old girl into a bikini, and this man biological male begins to strip down and put on his bikini, exposing his penis and testicles and his naked body to these women and girls. Like, that's how that plays out in real life. That's what goes on in locker rooms. So for someone to say, no, a man should have, like, trans women are women. Well, that's still a dick. You can call it
I've
a
never
girl
understood
dick.
why they call them. If I decided to become a woman, why am I not a trans man? Like any other sort of change that I
Because
would
they don't want to call
undergo.
themselves
Like
men.
if I am, we talked earlier, like, am I bald? If I was a bald, like, I'm a bald man. I'm still a man, but now I'm bald. Like, you add, what is it? Like an adjective? Isn't that the word? Like, it's like grammar. I don't
Yeah.
understand why the noun changes.
Yeah.
You're still a man, but you can say
Yeah.
now I'm a trans man, because it's like,
So, like,
that
is it
doesn't, right?
okay
Do you
to,
get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Why
is
do
it
we
okay for
change
a
this
person to,
gender?
right.
You're
It's
still
still a
the same
penis.
gender. Yeah, you're still
And
a
what's
man.
really weird, I've had people say, maybe you should get some therapy if you're so scared of penises. If you can wrap your head around how abusive that is.
Well, in
Like,
Oregon, you can walk around naked as long as you're not being sexual. I can
right. And right.
walk down the street naked, and apparently that's
Right.
legal. I'm not going to get arrested. The bigger thing is sports. Like, if you have separate sports, it's obvious why we have separate sports. I'm not even going to try and explain that. And it's like, then you go and change that dynamic. That's so messed up.
I've
Like,
never had one single person when they've tried to defend it, and they're like, inclusion doesn't cost anybody. And I'm like, oh, really? Go visit shewon.org. Go, like, check out the website and look at the list of thousands and thousands and thousands of women who have been displaced in sport.
I've talked to liberals, but again, so the liberals who are not involved in politics and not engaged
know
with
it's
the
wrong.
party, they do know it's wrong, and they know that's crazy, and they don't like that. And they don't
Yeah.
like that the Democratic Party is pushing that crap.
Yeah.
But then, yes, you talk to Democrats who are involved. Like, if you go down to the boardwalk when they're doing those protests, those Democrats, again, they don't know the problem. They don't even think
I
it's
just
a
got some
real issue.
interesting information about those protests. I got to look into it a little bit deeper, but we may have found the funder.
McKinley says, what about the fact that we charge people with indecent exposure, right? Like,
so that involves a sexual act. So if you're just
what I've
naked,
read,
yeah, it has to be like a lewd act. So the person has to be like touching themselves or doing something gross,
trying to get gratification from it.
Yeah, but it's still weird. Like, it's still weird.
McKinley wants us to talk about, I believe that's the transportation bill. I have not been following this at all.
I know. I had someone reach out to me too and ask me to do a live on it. My hesitation to do a live on that right now is that I haven't sat down and read everything about it. And so I don't want to speak from a place of not, I know, and we,
I
you
just
know,
know
we
that they're going to
should,
do
but
whatever they have the votes, they have the super majority, so they're going to do whatever they're going to do. And there's nothing, if you disagree with it, there's nothing you can do. You
there's
can
nothing
call
we can do
them,
about it.
you can send letters, you can send emails. I mean, if people want to do that, I'm not going to discourage you from doing it, but like ultimately know that even if it worked this time, it's most likely not going to work in the long run. The long run, the long game is to get more people, get higher voter turnout. We have such a disengaged electorate. People are not involved enough. And we're probably preaching to the choir, because anybody who's taking the time on their
I
Wednesday
know.
evening to watch this are the right people. But you know what? The people I think who watch this are the next leaders. They really
Yeah.
are. They're like you've some spark has gone off. You're engaged enough that
Yeah.
you're watching this, that you're commenting. Thank you, McKinley. I know I've seen you at city council meetings and you've run for various committee positions. Like, that's freaking awesome. And that's what we need, because until we get that, new group of leaders getting involved, we're not going
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
It's
And
crazy. And
McKinley, if you would like some, from what I understand, it's free coaching, free resources from this women's organization. If you are interested in running for office in sometime in the future, go ahead and reach out to me and I'll connect you to that organization to start getting you prepared for that.
Sabrina says she's waiting to turn 50. She needs a few more years to learn. I hear you on that one. I wish I waited till 50, because I'm aging quickly because of all this.
No, it's fine.
Yes.
It's
But no,
fine.
I had faith and hope a couple of years ago that things could change pretty quickly. And I don't think that was because of inexperience. I think it was just the time that it was right after COVID and people were like ready. And there were some things like Coos County had not lost all their money. Like, we still had some savings, some reserves. We were ramping up positions at the jail and patrol and stuff. So for like the crime issue was still solvable. And now, man, it's like, I think we're going to slump into a decades long hole here.
Not
I
if
mean,
people do something about it.
I have hope
It's
that people will, but
no one's
oh
coming to
man,
save us. That's the thing that
right?
we
We're
have
not.
to get through our heads. No one is coming to save us. And to
But the
all of the
commissioners
people who
think that
lean left, no one is, your government is not going to save you. And if you want me
they
to like break down why over the decades all of this stuff has failed and will continue to fail, I am happy to go into that. But no one's coming to save Coos County. No one's coming to save us individually. The systems that have been supporting people who don't support themselves are bankrupting. We're about to lose our ambulance in Coquille. We will have for-profit ambulances. So this is the ambulance that has been, it's basically a public service and it's paid for by the city of Coquille. They have a special contract. They are not private. There will still be private ambulance services. Do you know what changes? What changes is people who use the ambulance are actually going to get a bill from a private company that can come after them for the money. Because what's happening is this ambulance is contracted with the city. And so the state of Oregon only allows that ambulance service to recoup for OHP patients what the state deems they can recoup. So little by little, they've lost so much money. They can't cover their operating expenses because they're servicing OHP people. Some of these people up to 5 times a day because a person calls for an ambulance because they want help to their refrigerator. Like a person who's completely able to help themselves, they just don't want to. And so that behavior has bankrupted the ambulance system. And so I think what we're going to have to do is allow our public services to go bankrupt and return some of the responsibility for self-care back to the individual. And if that means people suffer by their own hand, that's what that means, because we live in a free country. And I know that that's going to bother people, but we live in a free country. You get to choose how you live. You get to choose how you die. It's your choice. And we all have barriers to entry. We all have roadblocks that we have to overcome. Some of them you can't see. Some people are very sick and they look fine. Some people are fine and they pretend to be very sick. The best solution is to let it work itself out and let people sleep in the bed that they make for themselves. There is no other, we can't save adults from themselves. And
It's
that's, I
not
think, what the
sustainable.
left, it's not sustainable. I think that's what the left has to let go of. You can't save these people. I can't save these people. The government can't save these people. As adults, we're all responsible for saving ourselves. And it sucks to watch people suffer, but that's part of accountability.
Well, if we try and help everybody, then we all suffer. But I talked to the Coos Bay fire chief last year, and that's what he was explaining. Same thing with the ambulances, that they'll get so many calls for service from like transient population, and they're just asking for like a ride essentially. Like they just want to go from wherever they're at to the hospital, so then they can get out and go to Goodwill across the street, or I don't know what is across the street from the hospital.
And
but
what do you do when the state of Oregon will not allow the ambulance to charge the amount of money that they need to operate their business? Like the state of Oregon, make no mistake, the state of Oregon is bankrupting this ambulance. And what the city is doing is, instead of allowing nature to run its course, basically, the city is now charging residents $25 extra on their water bill to prop this ambulance service up. So now everybody has to pay the cost of those people who don't want to pay for their own existence in this world. And like, I know that may sound harsh, but you guys, the ambulance is going bankrupt. The system is
they just
failing.
changed the law in Oregon so that I think the cities now, they can raise those utility bills on their own. They used to have to go to the people, and now they can just raise them to whatever they want, which is nuts. But
it's crazy that they're basically
I saw
saying,
there's a sorry, go ahead. I was to say that I saw that there's a city council position open in Coquille. Did somebody resign or get recalled, or I don't know what happened. Yeah,
I don't know. I could ask.
I wonder if it was over this whole thing, the missing money and the ambulance stuff, but doesn't look good. But hey, I think it's an opportunity for people to get involved. I've seen a lot of different people, different names getting involved, wanting to go to meetings. Same thing in Bandon. They're trying to do this road diet, and it's been getting a lot of people involved and engaged. So it's slowly happening, people. I wonder how to get Sabrina involved, though. Shit, we can't have you wait till 50. We got to figure out how to get you at some level involved. How do we squeeze something out of that?
This spring.
All right, there you go.
We've chatted about it a little bit. She's going to be
okay.
She's going to work on some stuff with me.
Very cool.
Yeah. Well, I won't spill the beans just yet, because we're I'm ironing out a formal announcement.
All right, baby steps, she says.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Little by little. Yeah, a little bit of I cut my political teeth in New York City, and it's very different. And basically between New York City and Washington, D.C. is completely different. Politics here are so much more personal. And I think that's what scares a lot of people off.
Everything here is more personal. East Coast, we could fight and scream and yell and curse each other out and be friends the next day again.
Yeah.
I don't think people do that here.
Some of it is cultural, but a lot of it is just like the inherentness of like a small town where everyone knows everyone. And it's really scary when you see, so when you have political candidates who see someone like me start doing these lives with you, and then they see some of the things that some of like our local psychopaths have said and tried to do to me, that's scary for people, man. It freaks people out, and they just don't.
And that's what they want.
It is. And so I'm here to tell you guys. So what, Chris, we've been doing this for about a year now?
Since, January. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we're coming up on a year of doing this. And when I really tried to tell people, when I first started doing this, I was terrified, like cold sweat, losing sleep, crying, like terrified. Like people are going to show up to my house. I got to bulletproof my windows because I could be shot through my window. Like I just, because it was when, you know, when people are posting memes of like, why hasn't someone hit her with a shovel yet?
Yep.
It's scary. And then I kind of was just surrounded by people who offered me a sense of protection, both kind of like emotional support and actual like being there physical support. And so I want to encourage anyone who is scared, know that that feeling passes. You get used to it, and then you realize that it's really not that serious. It's just words. And like none of the things that these people say about me is true. So I don't care. And no one that knows me or knows of me would believe it anyway, or would even like look at that and be like, oh yeah, that's a good person. Like, no, people that say these horrible things are awful people. So if you're afraid of like backlash, don't be. That fear goes away and you will be surrounded by people who support you. When you start coming out and you really like want to be a part of change and you want to represent people and give people a voice, those people will support you and protect you. So if you, because I know I've talked to so many people and fear is a big thing that holds them back. There's the fear of kind of embarrassing yourself, like sticking your foot in your mouth. Yeah. Or being wrong about something. That is going to happen. Yep. Like just understand that we are all fallible. We all make mistakes. And like me and Chris are pretty, like we give people a really hard time, and there are going to be people that give us a hard time. Like if I end up,
I hope they do. Yeah.
Yeah. If I end up doing what I'm trying to do, like people are going to give me a really hard time about it. It's fine. You know, don't make yourself small because you're afraid of being seen.
Phil says when he ran, his theory is come at me.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I don't know if McKinley's still on, but thank you for watching. And she had commented that she's going to go to the city about the sidewalks because her kids want to walk to school and they have to walk in the road because people park on the sidewalks. And where she lives, there's like sidewalk on one side before her house, and then at her house it's like only on one side. So it's like both sides before her house, then you get to her house and it's like only on one side and it's not her side, which sucks. And then you go past her house and there's no sidewalk at all. But if you build in the city of Coos Bay, I was at a meeting where the people were complaining about this, because if you build like at any of these roads where like you're extending the road, so if you build up Elrod or Ingersoll or California at the end of these roads, you're responsible for paving the road and putting in the sidewalks and everything up to your new residence. And like for some people it was like in the realm of like $500,000 to do this. And it's like, so you're going to make them pay for it, but you're not going to do it in your own city that you already, like you're not maintaining your own sidewalks or building your own sidewalks.
But you're going to make people put in sidewalks.
It's crazy, but everybody's broke. So the city's broke, people are broke. So I don't get it. But
I mean, they could
she
just
lives
lift
in a pretty
restrictions.
urban area, so it is very weird because I run out that way, and it's very annoying to have to switch to the other side of the street to get on the sidewalk, and then it just disappears like 2 blocks later, and I'm running in traffic.
Weird, yeah.
Anyways, but yep, people gotta realize that you just gotta jump into it. And but this is what we're doing. We're building a support network so we can help people when things come up and they get
exactly. And I want to also tell people, like, you can if you're someone who disagrees with me and Chris and thinks we're crazy, and maybe like no matter what you think of us, even if you don't like us, we'll still help you. Like, I'll help anyone. Like, I would literally coach Michael Brainard if he came to me and was like, I recognize that I have some issues that I would like to like develop myself. I would give him 1,000%. Like, I'll work with anybody, and my personal bias does not affect my willingness to work with someone professionally or develop someone professionally, period. Like, we're not, like Chris said, we're not here for Republicans. We're not here for conservatives. We're here for everybody. So if you know someone that you think is a good fit, like, I really don't care if they're Democrat or Republican or, you know, we want to develop people because the more voices we have in the community, the better. We need some pushback on some of these
As
policies.
long as their heart's in the right place. I mean, if you're just getting involved to push some agenda that is like not really congruent with the population here, like if you're just pushing some like Democrat agenda, and I have these arguments with Republicans who are like, they're not focusing on local issues. They're just solely focused on like federal dogma,
Yeah,
political, very, very like party line stuff. And it's like, but what do you have to contribute to our local community? Because like, yeah, if
yeah,
that's your game, then I don't know, go to Washington, D.C. and be political
yeah.
at that level. Because like around here, like we just care about the small town stuff. So yeah, like I don't know. I don't want to throw anybody into the bus right now. I'm tired of it. But like the whole ICE thing,
I know.
like the Republicans right now are on this whole ICE kick, and like, you know, if you want to talk about federal politics, okay, like that might be a thing. But like around Coos County, like I don't think we need a bunch of ICE troopers coming to round up a bunch of illegals in Coos County. And I'm not saying that I think that illegals should just be allowed to come and live here. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, is that our biggest issue? Is that really something we need to focus on? Is that a winnable issue right now in Coos County? No. Is that anything that the commissioners or the mayors could be solving? I don't think so. I don't think they should be
Right. It's
solving.
nothing that we could do anything about. Whether
We've
we
got
like it or
way
not,
bigger
there's nothing
issues.
really we can do about it.
Well, like we can't
We don't
even
have the
keep
power.
people who beat it. What did we talk about? They beat up an old man
I
and he
know.
got booked and released. So like, how are we going to tackle somebody who crawled
Yeah,
across the
yeah.
border? I mean, we got to
Or
fix.
dude who abused all those animals at the game park and then just posted bail and is probably in like Mexico somewhere.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I
That
don't, I don't, I'd be real surprised if that guy shows up to his court date.
Yep.
But
Well,
again, that's
and
the state of Oregon. We don't have any control over it.
you don't even have to show up at this point. I looked up the lady who was squatting at the place that Perry was at, and she has like minor charges, like misdemeanors, like here and there, but like all of them, she was found guilty because she didn't show up, like failure to appear, guilty due to failure to appear. And it's like, wow, like she just and then it's like $1,000 fine, right? You criminal trespass, failure to appear, it's like $1,000 almost minimum fine, and she doesn't pay it. It goes to collections. The county never gets their money, and she doesn't have any consequences. Isn't that nuts?
There are no real, and that's what a lot of Democrats don't understand. Those aren't real consequences. That person doesn't care
That's
about that.
nothing.
It's nothing to them. All it does is dig them actually deeper into a hole that they'll never get out of.
But then that's
And
where
so,
the liberal feelings come into it, and they feel bad, and they want to have empathy and compassion for that person and not burden them with their past bad choices. So they want to remove those fines.
yeah.
It's like, no,
So
don't think like that.
the
But
right thing to do is to replace it with a punishment that actually works. People are going to probably really not like this, but I'm a fan of civil asset forfeiture. When you find someone squatting, seize everything they own and put them out
yeah,
on the sidewalk and let them figure it out from there. I can guarantee you if that happens enough times, because it's an immediate consequence. The
I don't
person
think
is
this
already
person has any
destitute.
assets. But
I
yeah.
mean, take their tent, take their
Ugh.
sleeping bag, and like take everything from them and be like, you can literally sleep in the cold, or you can go to a shelter and get treatment. Those are your two options. But for now, you're done. But
Well,
there
they shouldn't have
has,
removed bail. So like, say she
right?
got arrested for the criminal trespass. Okay, you want to give her the opportunity to not have to sit in jail through her whole trial, but she posts bail, and if she doesn't show up, you get to keep the bail. So then you get your money, you get the
She
fine.
probably
So
didn't even post bail. They
probably not.
probably,
It's this day and age in Oregon, there's zero bail for that sort of stuff.
yeah, they
So
just booked and
there you
released.
go. You remove that, then yeah, why would she show up? She's not losing anything.
This is basically, it's just a system that is costing taxpayers money and having zero effect. And
now they
that's
don't
the
even
thing. It's like
prosecute
nobody
misdemeanors
wants to
like
be the
that.
bad guy that's like, oh, we took her stuff and left her with nothing.
Yep.
Dude, this is an adult who like has just taken advantage over and over and over and over of innocent people. At what point is the criminal the bad guy? Like, at what point do we just like actually give it back to the criminal and be like, yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? Maybe you shouldn't do that to other people.
Well, I bet that we both have liberal acquaintances that we can talk to, and they will agree with us. And if they get more involved, maybe they can turn around this no bail situation and lawlessness situation, because I don't think the conservatives are working the right way on it right now.
There are people out there, and I can tell you right now, they're scared. They're afraid of losing their clients or their business. They're afraid of being ostracized. They're afraid of, like, it sucks. And the intimidation, again, what good did it serve? It's produced crap policy. So it's like, why hold on to power so tightly that you just like destroy everything?
They're in it for the wrong reasons. That's why.
Yeah.
Both sides.
Ego.
Both sides are. Yep.
And you're right.
Well,
It's both sides. Like, I think if we had a strong Republican Party, it would balance out the Democrat Party, and they wouldn't have as much power to do as much damage. But right now they have free reign, and where there is power, there is corruption. And so when you hand Democrats all of the power, you're handing them the path to corruption. And it's almost unfair to do to them. Like, you're setting them up for it, because we know this happens. I mean, literally, it was written about, what, 5,000 years ago. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's, power balance is so important. And so they wouldn't be able to behave this outlandishly with such hubris. That's what, like, if I could bottle that kind of confidence and drink it every morning, I would be unstoppable. But it's like, there's nothing stopping these people to have them step back and go, is this actually the right thing to do? Is this,
well, that's like the trans stuff. If you do a national poll on it, or even just a poll for the Democrats, like, it's not a winning issue, but they do it anyway. So that's why voter turnout, we need people more involved, more engaged, and more aware of this stuff going on, more aware that how easy it is to actually get involved. It's not a big time suck. If you want to do this, it's a time suck. It takes a lot of effort. But if you're part of an organization that values your assets, what you have to bring to the table, and looks at you as someone who's helpful and wants to work with you, it can actually work really smoothly. They can find a way to not overburden you with your time and your energy, and it can actually be a successful relationship. But we don't have those types of organizations right now, but we will in the future. So
we're working on it.
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, you want to wrap it up? We're trying to keep it under an hour. I will admit, I am absolutely
3 over.
Exhausted.
I bet. Did you do petition stuff today?
Yes, God, and that's my coaching is really kind of like ramping up, and so I had to actually so I had meetings this morning. Then I went and met up with the guys and did the petitioning, and then I had, on my way home, I had to pull over, do my coaching session. Oh, wow. So timing wise, because it's long drives back and forth between from my house and these locations. So do my coaching session, get back on the road, get back home, eat, jump on the live stream. So I'm burnt out and ready to have some dinner and call it a night.
There you go.
It's very cool though. Like, dude, can I just say before we get off here, the turnout in Bandon, you guys, you're amazing. There were so many people, Chris. Like, I didn't expect Bandon to be that hopping. People came from all over the place. It was amazing. And I probably got to thank Rob Taylor for bringing a bunch of them in, because he's got a pretty big following. Yeah. And he's got a big online following too. So, there are people that a few people saw my videos, a lot of people who saw his videos, but man, it was cold. and I didn't like that.
Oh,
But
wow.
I gotta bundle up because there were people in shorts and t-shirts, and I'm like, what is
Was
wrong with
Marty in
you?
shorts?
Yeah, man.
I've never seen Marty not in shorts.
Yeah. So I froze. It was super fun though. I met so many cool people. And that is the thing with this petition. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But how many of us in Coos County have like gotten to know each other because of all of this stuff and connect and kind of commiserate and kind of conspire to make things better and kind of find things that work better. So today was a good day. It was cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, continue that forward momentum and
Yeah.
energy. Last
Yeah.
week was cool too, the Thursday night meeting. So
Yeah.
we'll do more of those.
It was. All right. Well,
All right. We'll end it.
good night,
See you next week,
everybody.
everybody. Thanks for
Take
joining.
care.
Thanks for listening to us rant and ramble and chat
Yeah.
about things for the future. We'll see you all around.